1991, they actually held a wedding down here.
That would be
Now, both the bride and the groom, as well as all the guests, were all cave explorers, so they all felt very comfortable being in this sort of environment. Now, if you come over to this poster, I'll talk about a few animals that we can find living in caves. Now, the first group of animals that you can find living in caves are called troglodytes. Now, these are animals that spend their entire lives in caves. In other words, they spend their entire lives in complete darkness. So if you look, they don't have any eyes, and they're also completely colorless. That's because they don't need eyes to see anyways, and they don't need color to be able to camouflage or blend into their surroundings. The next group of animals are called troglophiles. Now these are animals that prefer to live in caves, but can also live outside as well. These include animals like salamanders, crickets, spiders, and other little crawlers. These animals usually live closer to the cave entrances because they still need that natural light to be able to see and move around. The last group of animals you can see living in a cave are called troglodytes. Now these are animals that visit caves for a purpose, whether that's hibernation, safety, nesting, or even giving birth. These include animals like bats, raccoons, owls, and even bears. Don't worry, we don't have any bears here at Crystal Cave though, because our wild entrances are way too small. We do, however, have bats. Here in Wisconsin, we have 4 kinds of hibernating bats. We have the little brown bat, the big brown bat, the northern long-eared, and the tricolored bat. Now each bat can eat up to 3,000 insects in one night. So all those mosquitoes and other little insects we don't like, those bats will eat them all up. That gives them enough energy and fat storage to be able to hibernate or sleep through the entire winter. Unfortunately though, bats all over the world are facing a lot of threats. One of these is called white nose syndrome, and it's a fungus that grows on the bat's ears, wings, and nose, and it's incredibly itchy for them. It causes them to wake up during their hibernation, using up all of their energy and not making it to the spring. Unfortunately, our bats here at Crystal Cave are affected with white nose syndrome. We used to have around 800 bats here, but now we only have a few dozen. It is important to note, though, that humans cannot get white nose syndrome. It needs a body temperature of less than 67 degrees to grow, and as a human, we have a toasty body temperature of 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So we have a few other problems before we had white nose syndrome. Yeah, exactly. We are working very closely with the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources to monitor and research this disease because there's currently no cure. Right now we know it's mostly spread through back-to-back contact, but we're trying to prevent the spread from cave to cave. So we're asking if you're visiting other caves in the future to wear different clothes and different shoes than what you're currently wearing, just so we're not accidentally spreading that from cave to cave. Are there any questions about bats or anything?
Is there any of the other animals in this cave?
So we don't have any troglodytes in our cave because they need natural water. The water that we saw by the stairs, we added that to represent the glaciers melting. So we only have little puddles in here. So we don't have any troglodytes, but we do have troglophiles. Right now we're too far deep into Crystal Cave to see any troglophiles, and they usually like to stay away from the paths and away from the lights and everything. But we do have some troglophiles down here. And then we also have bats, but right now since it's summer, all the bats have kind of left to go eat all the insects and warm up. So